हाय निशांत, मुझे ना नहीं जाना चाहिए था तब। मैं तब जाके ना मैं पढ़ी ही नहीं, सोई भी नहीं। कब से आने की कोशिश कर रही थी लेकिन नहीं आई। हाय प्रवानी। हाँ, देखा देखा लग रहा है लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा क्लियरली याद नहीं। I'll give a test. Genotype and phenotype respectively are possible. Genotype. The respiratory quotient during cellular respiration would depend on nature of enzyme involved, nature of substrate, amount of CO2, amount of oxygen utilized. The figure is present in root wall of nuts, grit of guava and pear, seed coat of legumes. Darwin could not properly explain the theory of evolution due to lack of resources, genetics, time. Among the examples given below, select set which includes animal developing from a two-layered embryo, diploblastic. Sea anemone, sea urchin, feather star, hydra, starfish, basket star, jellyfish, sea anemone, hydra, sea urchin, cake urchin and jellyfish. Echinoderms. In normal condition, how many ml of CO2 is transported per 100 ml of blood? In normal condition, none of this. 4 ml on the thick yellow high protein fluid produced by the mammary gland. Colostrum. Excuse me. Which of the following statement is not true? Heart is ectodermal in origin. Heart is mesodermal in origin. French fist. An overdose of intravenous insulin may lead to An overdose of intravenous insulin may lead to the death of an individual due to an overdose of intravenous insulin may lead to the death of an individual due to an excessive increase of blood glucose, excessive decrease of blood glucose, inhibition of glucagon secretion, overproduction of histamine. Intravenous insulin may lead to death of an individual. Excessive increase of blood glucose. Regular alteration of polyp and medusa in the life cycle. Metagenesis. Inner membrane. Identify A and B. The given diagram showing ATP synthesis in mitochondria. A. इंटरमेम्ब्रेन स्पेस होना चाहिए ना ये तो inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, inner mitochondrial membrane. integral peripheral. Cytoplasm. F0, F1. Integral protein, peripheral protein. Matrix. F0. Matrix. Mitochondrial matrix, yes. Which of the following organism possesses characteristics of a plant and an animal? Which of the following organism possesses characteristics of plants and an animal? Euglena, Paramecium, bacteria. I think Paramecium. Euglena. Which of the following cell? Which of the following are cell inclusion? Alluron green, fat droplets, crystals, vacuoles. Which of the following are cell inclusions? Alluron green, fat droplets, cell inclusions, okay. Alluron green, fat droplets, crystals, vacuoles. I love this. Growth cannot be taken as defining property of living organism because all living organisms do not show growth. Non-living things also grows from inside. Non-living things also grows by increasing mass. Growth promoting natural hormone is indole acetic acid, gibberellin, indole acetic acid, moxonanthe. The protein present in myofilament are the protein present in wait. Resume. Growth promoting natural hormone. The protein present in myofilament are globulin, actin, hemoglobin, tropomyosin. The protein present in myofilament are माया फिलामेंट में भूल गई शायद. The living survivor in the family Hominidae is Homo erectus. Homo sapiens. Conversion of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. The correct order of reaction in glycolysis. Conversion of 1,3-BPG bis phosphoglyceric acid to 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Splitting of fructose 1,6 into dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Three bis phosphoglycerate. Three phosphoglyceraldehyde. Bis phosphoglyceraldehyde. One. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to the frog? Eyes are bulged and covered by nictitating membrane. A patch of nodal tissue is responsible for initiating the rhythmic contractile activity of heart is present in. ये मच्छर कितना आता है? A patch of nodal tissue responsible for initiating the rhythmic contractile activity of heart is present in lower left corner of the left atrium, upper right corner of the right atrium. Left corner of the left ventricle. Upper right corner of the right atrium. Upper left corner of the left ventricle. Which of the following is correct regarding the consequences of overpopulation? It increases the poverty of a country. It leads to shortage of food supply. It results in unemployment. All of this. Genetic equilibrium in a population refers to equal number of dominant and recessive alleles. Micturition is carried out by a reflex. Select the option that correctly identifies True. Second one, ADH helps in water elimination, antidiuretic hormone. False. Protein fluid is filtered. इरिटेटिंग सा लग रहा है, मैं क्या करूँ? मच्छर देगा. Protein-free fluid is filtered from blood plasma to Bowman's capsule. True. Glucose is actively reabsorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule. Correct. Backbone of DNA strand is built off of sugar phosphate. Ribose sugar or deoxyribose sugar. Phosphate and deoxyribose. Secondary sexual character in female develop in response to hormone estrogen, gonadotropin. Secondary sexual character in female develops in response to the hormone relaxin. Progesterone, ovarian hormone. I think gonadotropins. Assembly of protein from amino acid requires energy. When glucose is degraded into lactic acid in our cells, energy is liberated. False. Bone energy ATP is utilized by biosynthesis. Osmotic and mechanical. Majority of energy is liberated. Serum contains blood without fibrinogen. So blood without plasma. Clotting factor. The best way to decrease population of our country, to educate people, to have better house, to kill people on a large scale, to practice an ऐसा भी option दिया है, to kill people on a large scale, to practice and implement family planning. Reason of diversity in living being is varying environmental condition. Long term diversity in living beings. All the movement lead to locomotion. Ciliary incorrect statement in the following. Ciliary movement helps in passage of ova through female reproductive tract. Microfilaments are involved in amoeboid movement. The cilia helps in the movement of food through cytopharynx and in locomotion as well. Okay. Microfilament are involved in every movement. Microfilament, यही गलत है फर्स्ट का. ऑल मूवमेंट लीड टू लोकोमोशन. सारे मूवमेंट थोड़ी लोकोमोशन क्रिएट करते हैं. मैं पानी लेके आती हूँ. ओके. The site of meiotic division in higher plants is vegetative buds, root tip cells, stomatal cells, spore mother cell. माइटोसिस उनसे स्पोर मदर सेल में पका. The serous membrane which covers the lung is called pericardium, peritoneum, pleura. Respiratory process is regulated by certain specialized center in brain. Centers can reduce the respiratory duration upon stimulation. Medullary inspiratory center, pneumotaxic center. Respiratory process is regulated by certain specialized center in the brain. One of the following distinct center can reduce the inspiratory duration upon stimulation. Pneumotaxic center. Synapses of homologous chromosome takes place during prophase 1 of meiosis. Division of centromere takes place during anaphase 1 of meiosis. Spindle fiber disappear completely in telophase of mitosis. Nucleoli reappears at telophase 1 of meiosis. Only A, only C, A, B, A, C, D. Pick out the correct statement from the following. Pick out the correct statement from the following. Synapses of homologous chromosome takes place during prophase 1 of meiosis. Synapses. ये नहीं है. Zygote. Division of centromere takes place. Division of centromere. Centromere takes place during anaphase 1 of meiosis. Centriole. वो centrosome. Centriole. Centrosome. Centromere takes place during anaphase 1 of meiosis. Anaphase 1 of meiosis. ज़्यादा एक से पे काट दिया. Spindle fiber disappears completely in telophase of mitosis. Helper T cell, cells that are active in production of antibiotics. Activated T or B lymphocytes to become plasma cell, protein produced by virus infected cell. Interferon 3 को D, D को 3. D को 1. Plasma cell, cells that are active, plasma cells that are active in producing antibiotics. Okay. A को 2. Helper T cell, activated T or B lymphocytes to become plasma cell. Helper T cells combine with antigen causing lysis and release of cytokinins. The cell membrane contains branched chain lipids in the cell membrane contains branched chain lipids. The cell membrane contains branched chain lipids and actinomycetes. Actinomycetes. Eubacteria or archaebacteria. Integrated pest management discourages the excessive use of biological method, chemical pesticides, mechanical method. The primary reason why the same basic techniques can be used to analyze the DNA from species as diverse as bacteria and human is that all cells are identical. DNA has a consistent structure in all organisms. Every organism has the same amount of DNA. The DNA sequence for all organisms are the same. The primary reason why the same basic technique can be used to analyze the DNA from species as diverse as bacteria and human is that all cell is identical. DNA has a consistent structure in all organisms. Genetic variation affects the production of drug reserpine. In the medical plant Rauwolfia vomitoria, growing in different Himalayan range. What kind of diversity does it indicate? Species diversity, genetic diversity, ecological diversity. यार मैं तो पढ़ के सब कुछ भूल जाती हूँ, मैं क्या करूँ खुद का. The presence of pyrenoid is a characteristic features of pyrenoid food. Manitoulin laminarin brown को pyrenoid green कोला chlorophycia. Fluoridin starts ना. Which of the following statement is false? Insulin was originally extracted from pancreas of slaughter pigs and cattle. Animals' insulin is difficult to obtain. Animal insulin is identical to human insulin. Non-human insulin causes some patient to develop allergy. Which of the following statement is false? Originally extract animal insulin is difficult to obtain. Hormone primarily concerned with cell division is IA, cytokinin, gibberellic acid, and A, cell division. Cytokinin, cell division. thyroid, secothyroid, thyroid, okay. Thymus, ये नहीं, बी नहीं है. एड्रेनल, ये वाला एड्रेनल, पैनक्रियास, थाइमस, थायराइड, थाइमस, पिट्यूटरी. हाँ ये गलत है, ऊपर वाला पिनियल होगा. A is pituitary. Which of the following group of algae? Algin. Excuse me. What if Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae दोनों ही प्रोड्यूस करता था एल्जिन? In a terrestrial ecosystem, the large fraction of energy flows through grazing food chain. In a comparative study of grassland ecosystem and pond ecosystem, it may be observed that the biotic components are almost similar. The duration of cardiac cycle in 1 second. Cardiac cycle is 1 second. Okay, calculate the cardiac output. Stroke volume to be 70 ml. Rate into 70. Five two five zero. Part of brain concerned with muscular movement. मुझे यार मैं पागल हो जाऊंगी टेस्ट देते देते. Part of the brain concerned with muscular movement is cerebellum, thalamus, hippocampus, temporal lobe of cerebrum. What is correctly labeled with respect to the given diagram? Logistic curve. A carrying capacity. Heroin is obtained from the plant of the family leguminous papaver. Papaver somniferum. Which of the following statement is correct? Radial vascular bundles are commonly found in stem. Radial vascular bundle. कौन सा सेंटेंस है? कितना क्यूट चूहा. कितना क्यूट चूहा. भाग गया. एक चूहा आया था. Which of the following statement is correct? Radial vascular bundles are commonly found in stem. Radial, no, false हो. Correct. वन ज़्यादा था तो incorrect हो. ये भी incorrect हो. Conjoined vascular bundles are found in stems and leaves. And 3. Amino acid of the growing polypeptide. tRNA. Meristematically segmented body exhibit. Metamerically. Lychee tap root consists of primary and secondary root. Which of the following statement is usually correct for them? Primary root is thin. Amino acids can be classified by number of peptide bond. GFC is the major conduit for energy flow in terrestrial ecosystem. It's okay, you can do it. GFC is a major conduit for energy flow in terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic. None of this. Terrestrial ecosystem, I guess. All of the following traits are X-linked except pollen grain is related to embryo sac as which of the following is an example of ectoparasite? Tapeworm, liverfew, ticks. Number of ATP molecule formed from the complex oxidation of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. 36 इनसफिशिएंट कहाँ से कैसे आ रहा है, मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है यार. मैं क्या कर, रो भी तो नहीं सकती इतनी छोटी बात के लिए. Insufficient quantities of antidiuretic hormone in blood lead to insipidus. The major constituent of vertebrate bone is potassium, sodium, calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate. Which of the following statement is not true for a clone? Clones are descendant from a single parent. Clones are descendant from a single parent. मैं क्या करूँ, कुछ नहीं करना है, बस पढ़ाई करो. Which of the following statement is not true for a clone? Clones are descendant from a single parent. Identical twins are not clones. Clone is a result of sexual reproduction. ये तो false है. Cytokinin is primarily concerned with cell division, brick seed dormancy and bud dormancy. Ethylene. ABS stimulates the opening of stomata. Opening of stomata. This is a stress hormone. Antagonistic to 3 and 5. जा तेला लगा 3 and 5. Incorrect निकला ना. Senescence of detached leaves can be delayed by the application of In context of secondary treatment of series, phlox is associated with which microbes? Bacteria and fungi. The characteristic features of class Apes are they are warm-blooded and oviparous. They have pneumatic bones. Fertilization is external. Syrinx is not present. What is syrinx? Larynx. I think 1 and 2. Which of the following brain structure is not considered to be the part of limbic system? Amygdaloid nucleus, hippocampus, corpora quadrigemina, epithalamus. In most invertebrates, excretory structures are in complex tubular form. Select the correct statement from following. In most invertebrates, excretory structures are in complex tubular form. Vertebrates have simple tubular organ as Protonephridia is primarily concerned with excretion. Protonephridia. Excretory structure of enrotiferous, some annelids and cephalopodid amphioxus. Interferons are synthesized in response to Mycoplasma virus. In a cell that is not dividing, the chromosomes are visible as a tangle of fine thread called microtubule. In a cell that is not dividing, the chromosomes are visible as a tangle fine thread called chromatin, microfilament, nucleotide. Chromatin. Which of the following statement is incorrect? tDNA is present in Ti plasmid. Retrovirus converts common cell to cancerous cell. PBR thread 22 is natural plasmid. Natural. कैसे गए natural? Is a natural नहीं है PBR thread 22. लैब में बनाया है I think. Which of the following statement regarding biodiversity hotspot are incorrect? High endemism, high level of species richness, total number is 34 in world. 5 of this occurs in India. High alien species invasion. Covers less than 2% of Earth land area but properly conserved. ये तो मुझे नहीं पता यार. Cerebrum. Cerebellum, hypothalamus, midbrain. Maintains body posture. Seat of intelligence. Controls vision and hearing. Controls the pituitary. Hypothalamus को C1. प्लीज इसका भी 2 ना हो गया ना यहाँ से कांड. Cerebellum maintains body posture. Cerebellum controls vision and hearing. Seat of intelligence. पता नहीं. In this disease, there occurs a failure of chloride ion. In this disease, there occurs a failure of chloride ion transport mechanism in cell surface membrane of epithelial cell. Sweat of the patient contains very high level of sodium and chloride ion. Spongy parenchyma. C is spongy parenchyma. B is palisade parenchyma. F. xylem. Diploidal stage of prophase 1 is characterized by PS2 is located on inner side of thylakoid membrane, outer side of thylakoid membrane, lumen of thylakoid membrane, stroma lamella. In aerobic respiration, citric and acid cycle takes place in cytosol. In aerobic respiration, citric acid cycle takes place in charging only. In aerobic respiration, citric acid cycle takes place in cytosol, mitochondria, peroxisomes, endoplasmic reticulum. Citric acid cycle. DNA in a gel move from cathode to anode due to the presence of negatively charged phosphate, negatively charged sulfate. Negatively charged phosphate. Which is correct regarding genetically engineered insulin using E. coli? Difficult to purify. Most important climatic factor that regulates the rate of decomposition are temperature and soil moisture, aeration and temperature, moisture and soil pH and aeration. During electrophoresis, DNA fragment would migrate from cathode to anode. A man whose mother and mother-in-law both were colorblind, shut arm. Will produce the following time. मैंने किया ही नहीं, कैसे करूँगी? The extra, मैं क्या करूँ यार? The extra embryonic membrane of mammalian embryo are derived from trophoblast. The extra embryonic membrane of mammalian embryo are derived from trophoblast. Follicle cell, inner cell mass, formative cells. The extra embryonic membrane of mammalian embryo are derived from inner mass cell mass. Trophoblast. The extra embryonic membrane of mammalian embryo are derived from prokaryotic cells differ from eukaryotic cell in presence of cell membrane, absence of histones, presence of chromosome, absence of cell wall. Prokaryotic cell differs from eukaryotic, presence of cell membrane, absence of histone, presence of chromosome, absence of cell wall. ये भी गलत हो गया होगा ना? The phenomena observed in some plants wherein parts of the sexual apparatus is used for forming embryos without fertilization, parthenocarpy, apomixis. The phenomena observed in some plants where parts of the sexual apparatus is used for forming embryo without fertilization is called vegetative propagation. Sexual reproduction तो नहीं बोलते, apomixis या फिर parthenocarpy without fertilization. Phenomena observed in some plants where parts of sexual apparatus is used for forming embryo without fertilization. Apomixis ही बोलते हैं शायद. Cycas and ginkgo are connecting link between cycas, pteridophyte and gymnosperm. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation produce NADPH, ATP, and O2. 1 and 2. बस 90 क्वेश्चन ही किया तो 45 90 तो वो मुझे मैं गलत सोच रही थी. मैं वापस से रीचेक नहीं करना चाहती, डायरेक्ट सबमिट कर देना चाहती हूँ. मसाला ओके. 3 4 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Those who are studying, keep studying. Okay, bye. I'll go. Good luck. Bye bye, Shubham.